I feel like whole Australia is tuned into this. It's like a cult following right now.
Obsessed.
Adrian came out with a video pretty much saying that he's made multiple fan accounts for himself.
I think for him, it's a really smart strategy. I feel like MAFS is a lottery too. You're either painted in the good guy section or the bad guy section.
I totally disagree. Do you want to know why?
Why?
H&M is beginning to create digital replicas of their models to be used in marketing.
I think selling your likeness is going to be a massive thing in the future.
I came across an ad on YouTube and it genuinely shook me to my core. It says 6 signs you need an AI friend. It's a company called Replica and essentially it's offering an AI friend.
It's a slay for all the introverts out there. The guy in Japan, he essentially left his corporate job because they said he was too introverted, and then he went out and created his own business, and that whole concept is just sitting with people in silence. It's $80,000 US as well.
I mean, I talk to my AI all the time.
I ask ChatGPT everything.
Kyle talks to it more than me.
So
He's like, hey baby, how are you today? I'm like, who are you talking to?
Is this something that is going to be a positive effect on society, or do we feel like this is in turn going to make our society more isolated? All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of What the Data Says. We're ready to go. We've got some hot topics to talk about today. So I'm going to kick it off. Has everyone been watching MAFS?
Yes.
I feel like whole Australia is tuned into this. It's like a cult following right now.
Obsessed.
Obsessed?
I would say I've been following just because Liv watches it, but so I'm aware of the characters. That's about as far as it goes.
So I bring this up because Adrian came out with a video pretty much saying that he's made multiple fan accounts for himself. And he's pretty much come out and said, if everyone else is going to get views off me and me being on the show and my kind of spotlight moment right now, why shouldn't I as well? So he's created multiple fan accounts and he's just pumping it with content of himself. So what is everyone's thoughts about this?
There's a company in the US that does this called media scaling.
Yes.
And it's actually a strategy, but what they do is they start, up to 50 accounts and basically are just kind of repurposing content and putting it out there and kind of making these small adjustments. So I think for him, it's a really smart strategy considering that a lot of the value honestly just gets captured by the networks in this kind of scenario. I feel like MAFS is a lottery too. You're either painted in the good guy section or the bad guy section.
I totally disagree. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because everyone that was disliked in the show, me and Liv were talking about this yesterday, this whole redemption concept. Because for example, Jackie, she was the villain. She was that crazy person in the show. She's come off and been so raw and funny and guys, this was all it was all staged. They asked me to do this. And now she's so loved on social media. Same with Elliot as well. And so I feel there's that whole rebranding thing. If you control your narrative, if you go on the show, it doesn't matter what crazy shit you do. If you come off and completely rebrand yourself and control your narrative while they're showing all this crazy shit of you on TV,
I got a question.
Okay.
You ran a business. Mm-hmm. Would you hire Jackie?
No, but I would do a brand deal with her and I would invite her to a PR event. And that's all she wants. She doesn't want to be hired in a corporate job.
Yet.
Liv?
Shit, man, she is fucking bonkers. I'm not going to lie. No, so redemption arc, she had it. And now she's back down again.
She's lost it?
She's lost it fully, bro.
Clearly.
She's got no credibility. Everything that she's saying is
Didn't she hire an Airbnb?
No. What do you mean?
Maybe I'm not as in tune as you are.
I read an article the other day that the house that she brought her partner into was as a hired Airbnb.
Oh, that's tea.
Oh, yeah, I did see that, but I didn't read it.
I don't know if that's true or not. My perspective on that side of it is...
it was privacy reasons.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, my perspective on it is... I think the thing with these MAFS stars and stuff like that is how many of them are really... if you think to previous shows, right? How many of them are actually really relevant still?
Martha, one.
Yeah.
One, but one out of how many?
Oh, under 100.
So my point is there might not be anything negative right now, But in 5 years, when 95% of these people are relevant on socials, you don't lose, if like Jackie rocks up and she's in an interview with you, you're not like, you're going to remember. So, I mean, that's my perspective on that. It's a bit of a lottery too. I feel like, you can, there's been plenty of people that lose their jobs and stuff with MAFS. I feel like they go really hard at like painting certain people with the wrong stick.
It's like Love Island though. Like you have to go in it. And I know people that have gone on Love Island and been like, here's my strategy. I want to launch my personal brand and start XYZ like brand or company, like a vitamin company, but I don't have the eyes on me right now to do that. And they go on and they just position themselves so well. They play the part, they act so well, and then they come off and then they leverage all of that attention on them to do whatever they wanted to do. So like, I think the smart people that go in with an actual business plan come off and actually do well. Like Martha, like she was born to be an influencer, like a Kardashian kind of influencer. And like so many people off Love Island, like the people with the podcast, like I feel like if you are like business minded, I think you can do well. But yeah, some people,
No, I'm just specifically saying MAFS.
Yes.
So I feel like MAFS is like very different to say Love Island. But like MAFS is like on another level.
But I think a lot of people are on MAFS are like genuinely like, I question their soundness. Like as terrible
Yeah, but
as
that's
sounds.
my point. So my point on that would be they are the ones choosing who goes on. They are like, these guys are smart in what they're doing. So I think from a marketing perspective, they know exactly what they're trying to put out. And they go hard on specific people as well. So back to Adrian, I think it's smart by him. There's definitely a strategy out there and kind of bringing it back to content where you can, we have this belief internally too, that it's all about consumption, right? So, it's not necessarily about every post going viral. It's more about total consumption. So how many minutes of content of you is being consumed is really what pushes the needle forward and creates more association and more trust. So the idea that, for Adrian, he can get more content out there about himself and capture that value. But I think the other interesting thing is about controlling the narrative a bit. Obviously a lot of these accounts would probably paint him in a poor light. I don't know if that's his strategy and it's hard to know because you don't know what accounts he's controlling, but I'd be interested to see if that's something that, even he's thinking about, which is the benefit of managing your own social media and putting out your own content, right? Like, another example of this that we can use internally, which is a real life example that's disassociated from reality TV, is like one of our clients, Jack Henderson. He went through a bit of a situation where he was getting attacked from a large media corporation. He's later been cleared of that act, but he didn't stop putting out content for his personal brand the whole time. So he continued and he was able to control his narrative to a point now where he's built, I would say one of the most prominent personal brands in real estate. So the ability for you to control your own narrative is really powerful.
Yeah. I also want to get Liv's perspective because I remember we talked about it yesterday, like creating so many accounts for the one person. Like did that actually, because you said you've tested it, because I was like, oh, is that the new thing? And you were like, oh, it's been around for like ages.
Yeah.
What was your experience? Like did it like have a positive effect on their personal brand or?
It's hard because you need to, if you are doing it, you need to be all in and you need to be posting, like the frequency needs to be like really, really heavy. So that's like the first thing. And then the second thing is accounts getting blocked and shut down is like so prominent. So like I remember we started up, I think it was 6 accounts total for one client, and out of those 6, 3 got taken down because it now picks up if you're not commenting, if you're not reacting, if you're not engaging on that account. And also if you're just setting up a temporary email address, it picks up on all this activity. As well as Google now, like if you set up an email address and there's no activity on it for 6 months, it gets shut down. I would know because I continuously set them up for my iconic $20 off discount code. But yeah, it's just a continuous issue. So
Yeah.
it is really hard. It's a great strategy, but you do need a lot of effort and resources to be able to execute it.
Yeah, and it's a consumption strategy. So it's actually not about performance. So it's not about like, if you own one account, what you want to see on that account is lots of viral videos. This strategy is a little bit different in the sense that it's actually not about growing a single account. Like, yeah, you want to look at the numbers and stuff, but it's really about how many pieces of content can I actually post. So even if, think about it this way, right? If I post 5 posts a day across 10 accounts, that's 50 posts a day. If I'm only getting 1,000 views on each of those posts, that's still 50,000 views a day. So then you compound that, and let's say that goes up to 10,000, like that's 500,000 views a day. So it's not necessarily, it's different to how we would think about our own social media or a client's social media, in the fact that it's actually just more about consumption. The hard part about it is the amount of output that you have to have. Like, you basically have to edit one video 5 different ways, 10 different ways, and then you have to schedule it across all your platforms. Like, there's a lot to it. It does work, right? Because it's about, you want to end up in people's algorithms where you just keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. And it gives you more than one chance to go viral. Like, that's the other thing for a video. Like, most of the time you post one video, you got one chance to go viral. Here you might have 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right. And another thing, just like to completely change the topic of discussion, I came across this thing I sent to both of you about how H&M is beginning to create digital replicas of their models to be used in marketing. So essentially, yeah, they don't need to book the models physically. They can use their digital replicas, and the models and their agencies get to choose when they're like booked out for a job, but they don't physically need to be there. So I want to open a discussion and see if we think this is a positive advancement, or if this is going to, I don't know, lead to a bit more of a dangerous situation.
sorry, pause. I was daydreaming while you were talking just then. What did you say?
So H&M's making digital replicas of their models, so they don't physically need to be there, and they're charging, their models are still charging the same rates, but they don't physically need to be there, and they have the digital rights to that model's identity.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful.
So
They've done like partnerships with the agencies, and they're still getting booking fees, the models are still getting fees. But yeah, I want to delve into a conversation of what we think, and like if we think this is positive or negative advancement of AI. The models are obviously happy chappy because
I think
they're getting paid.
Yeah, I think mention that like one of the quotes on the swipe carousel.
Yeah,
Can you mention that? I can be in like Netherlands and New York at the same time.
So some of the models that have like agreed and signed, obviously there'd be a lot of legal documents involved with this, because like it's pretty freaking scary, like signing over like the rights to your like digital replica. But yeah, all the models are thrilled about it because it means like more money for them. But some of them have said like, my digital twin is proof that tech can enhance our profession, not replace it. She's like me, just without jet lag. I control my digital twin's availability, and finally a way for me to be in New York and Tokyo on the same day. So yeah, H&M's working directly with the models and the agencies to create the digital replicas of 30 models this year. So the models themselves will own the rights to their twins and will even be able to let other brands use them then. But H&M have pretty much come out saying that they know it's going to be controversial and acknowledged that they don't yet know the impact of the approach this will have on the models and other workers in the industry. So like photographers, makeup artists, stylists, like all those jobs are at risk right now, I would say. But yeah, what do we think? Do we think this is positive or negative?
So positive. So positive. I wrote about this in an article that I wrote, but I think selling your likeness is going to be a massive thing in the future. So my example was like Michael Jordan, in the idea that, you know, Michael Jordan could have sold his likeness to Nike back in the day, and Nike would own the rights to his likeness, but he wouldn't have necessarily had to do a lot of work for that, right? So he doesn't have to show up to photo shoots, doesn't have to go shoot commercials, doesn't have to do all these things. But really, in my opinion, it's the same thing. It's like this association with the company. You're and you know, as a model or as an influencer or whatever it is, you're still going to be able to choose which companies you want to partner with. The beauty of it is, though, you'll be able to scale the amount of work that you can take on. So, but I think there's a real, I guess fundamentally my belief on all this is that it just once again highlights the power of authenticity, being yourself, personal brand, and kind of doubling down on yourself. Because, with AI really is a production revolution. It allows you to produce more and more and more and more and more. So what becomes more important in that kind of scenario is the authenticity around yourself. It is you as an individual, what you look like, what you sound like, and the things that make you, your mind. Like, think about it from the perspective of science and a scientist being able to create and basically take his own principles and take his own research and take his own theories, and then basically being able to sell that to, say, a pharmaceutical company or something like that. So I think what is a power shift that's happening from large corporations to the individual. And it's, so for me, that's a really massive positive shift, just for everyone in general. It means that we're kind of going to head to an economy where you can spend more time focusing on things that you really love, because no longer will there be a limitation on what you can sell, right? For a model, you're not limited by the time in your week. For a scientist, you're not limited by doing one research paper at a time or these different things. You can kind of really scale your own talent as an individual, and that's a really positive thing.
I think it definitely depends on which side you're on. For someone like a photographer, a makeup artist, a stylist, that leaves them in a really sticky situation. But I think obviously if you're benefiting from it financially, of course you're going to be like, yes, this is such a good advancement. But I don't know. I think it's a slippery slope.
No, because I think the misconception there is that there's a lack of skill. Okay, I can look at a camera shot and Aiden can look at a camera shot and we see two totally different things, right? Because Aiden is trained. He has the skill set there. So AI scales production, but there's still a skill necessary to understand something that's good, just like fashion, right? If I dress myself every day, and the days I do, like today, you notice it because it's horrible. If Liv dresses me, it's amazing because she has a skill set and an understanding of fashion. So for a photographer, the ones who sit there and say, poor me, and this is going to take over my life, it will take over your life. It will take over your job. You won't have a job because you're not being proactive. There's photographers and videographers out there now that are actually utilizing these tools, and they're still able to scale their talent. There's still very high demand for these people's services. You just need to be proactive, and understand that this is happening. It's not going away. AI is not going to just all of a sudden stop. So I still feel like there's, what it does for me is scales human talent, right? It allows you to produce more of the things that you were previously restricted in terms of how much you could produce. So that's my perspective on it. I think, there's people out there now that are in those kind of roles that are utilizing it. It's just the ones that aren't that I get a little bit worried for. And that's just a reality of life though. We went through the same thing in the Industrial Revolution. They'll find other jobs. They'll eventually come. Tough times will be in that, but that's my perspective.
Just piggybacking off that discussion of AI, I came across an ad on YouTube yesterday when I was researching for this, and it genuinely shook me to my core. I'm just going to read it out and then I want to open a discussion on this. So it says 6 signs you need an AI friend. You feel lonely, you need support, you want to chat to someone about anything, you crave motivation, you need help staying organized, you want someone to play with. AI friendship anytime, experience friendship like never before with your AI companion. It's a company called Replica, and essentially it's offering an AI friend that you can have. And so I want to say, firstly, what does everyone think? And then do we think this AI companion thing is going to improve people's mental health? And because there are a lot of lonely people out there, is this something that is going to be have a positive effect on society and everyone's, happiness? Or do we feel like this is in turn going to make us as a society more isolated?
I love it. It's a slay for all the introverts out there, without a doubt. There's, I was saying before to both of you, the guy in Japan who essentially he was an introvert and worked in a company, and then I'm just trying to get his name up at the moment, but he essentially left his corporate job because they said he was too introverted. And then he went out and created his own business. And that whole concept is just sitting with people in silence. So there's obviously a need for it. That's $80,000 US as well. So it'd be making well and truly over 100K Oz just to sit there with people in silence. So there's definitely a need for it. I think it's really, really interesting. And I think eventually we're going to get to the point where we have like robot friends sitting next to us and talking to us.
They predict that in 5 years' time, there will be 5 robots or 10 robots to every 1 human. That's the predicted model. That's like everything from like the little things that clean your house to like—
I really want one of those.
All these kind of things, because they're robots, right? So, I mean, it's hard to I'm an optimistic person with this kind of stuff, so I think positive, but it's hard to know what the negatives will be at the moment. I mean, I talk to my AI all the time. Like
Same.
You know,
like I asked ChatGPT everything. Yesterday I was asking ChatGPT what I should respond to a guy's message.
Have you set it up on your phone to talk?
No, I have seen this.
So that's what I'm saying when I talk to it. Like
Kyle talks to it more than me.
So
he's like, "Hey baby, how are you today?" I'm like, "Who are you talking to?"
Hello.
They like have a full deep connection. It's really good.
So yeah, I talk to it a lot.
But then my whole thing is like, are people going to get into relationships with AI and like little robots?
It's a slippery slope, guys. I don't like it. Also, what if why are we trusting the advice that we're getting from them? What if I'm like, I feel really depressed, I feel really low, and they give me some advice because it's this whole thing of control.
You know, the slippery slope with this stuff that I'm like, I thought about this the other day because I seen something pop up. It was an article and it was like, AI influencers sounds like a good idea until you've got AI OnlyFans. And it's like, imagine—
hello, baby.
Imagine, I think that's where it gets slippery is like—
Bro, that's freaky. I never thought of that.
No, because there's that Black Mirror episode where— I probably can't get into it too much, but pretty much it's like everything is like in your eyes and they just sit there and they're playing shit over this whole AI generated life through their eyes. And it just— anyway, I just feel like it's such a slippery slope. I hate it.
I also feel like coming back to your point before where you said are they controlling the narrative, I guess?
That's what I mean.
But there was this mum, which I was watching on TikTok, and essentially her daughter went into care in the hospital and they couldn't figure out for months what her daughter had. Anyway, she ChatGPT'd it and she got to the bottom of it and went to the doctor and said, this is what my daughter has. This is all of her, why didn't you flag this with me? And they finally found it.
There's a revolution happening. Medical is going to be one of the biggest breakthroughs that we're going to see. Genuinely, there's use cases right now where there's so much optimism, in terms of, gene therapy, health, medical, all of that. We're going to have revolutions in the next 5 years. It's going to be amazing. The downside of it is companionship and these kind of things. There's already an epidemic with young men at the moment, which is, young men's mental health, companionship, these kind of things. It
is harder for men to find companionship than women.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a lot of men that are it's a lot harder. A girl can go to a bar and more than likely someone will come up to her.
Yeah.
Regardless of what she looks like. Whereas guys, they are a lot lonelier.
Yeah.
So I can understand why this would be appealing, but it's just, Anyway, we better wrap it up today, guys, because we could go on a tangent about this forever.
I just want to finish with a question.
Yeah, no.
So
go ahead.
What are our actual thoughts on AI influencers? Do we actually think that they have how effective do we think that they're going to be long term?
Sorry, what are AI influencers?
I can't imagine connecting with an AI influencer.
But okay, so
maybe I can.
I used to say that, but then there's there's a guy, can I just play something? Can I play something? So
I saw this AI chick on Instagram and she's like so hot and I thought
what's
she was
an
real
AI?
for so
Can you-
long. She tricked me. She was an AI generated photo.
no, so listen. Tell
was
me
in
if
Paris
you
and
think.
France and everywhere.
Can you tell me? We'll play this on
Maybe
the screen.
I'm AI.
We'll play this on the screen for everybody. We'll play this on the screen for everybody. I want you to tell me if you think this guy is AI generated because I pump his content and I like get all of
see.
these many chats and stuff.
Of their new free AI video generator that you can run locally.
AI influencers are definitely gaining traction, especially with realistic visuals and engaging content.
No, he's not AI.
Wait, he's fucking looks like a robot from here. I can see him.
Some can be
Hang on.
astonishing.
He looks
That's-
like an animation.
Hang on, that was
That's
fucking.
I thought he was
way.
legit.
That was ChatGPT. That wasn't actually the video.
Last month, Alibaba just dropped their new free AI video generator that you can run locally on your computer. It's called WAN 2.1, and it's way better than ChatGPT's Sora. It can create some super realistic videos
he's
just like
fake.
these.
Dude,
Mate, so
are you blind?
yeah,
you
but,
actually thought
but
that
my
guy
point
was
is
real?
like I would have said the same thing, and then I'm like consuming this guy's content. He's built 72,000 followers,
Either that or he's got a nice Facetune filter on.
hundreds and hundreds
But
of
I wouldn't have
thousands
guessed
of
that
views.
unless you said something.
Well, in the beginning, I didn't think it, but I think then I started to like pick up on it because his face just sits like this and
pretty
his mouth
crazy.
moves. But I guess my point is like I was very like, nah, this is not going to be a thing. And maybe because it is a replica of him.
Is it?
Oh, that's
Well, I would assume so.
I think that's what they have to do because you need to be perfectly imperfect, which is what humans are, and AI is not. So I think that's it. You need to like have the quirks of a real human to make it look realistic. No,
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting space. It's an interesting watch for me.
I'm freaked out by it all. I'm not going to lie.
I'm so freaked. I hate it.
I'm freaked out, like, yeah, just the whole robot thing and it just chilling next to me. Okay, mate, what's up?
I just
Like
don't
imagine
think
how
it's
easy it would be for him to create content.
Yeah, that's the thing that would be epic to use.
That's what I
media
mean by
scaling.
That's what
Imagine
I mean
media
by scaling media, like the
Yeah.
amount of content. So what we just played for you just then, that guy, all he has to do is write a script, probably click a button, and then a completely AI generated video will be created. So he's probably sitting there writing 1, 2, 3 scripts a day. He's building a massive following. The key lesson to that is that we've talked about this before, but the amount of content that's going to be produced in the internet is going to 100x over the next 2 years. So it's going to just be a very interesting time. It's going to be much harder to stand out. And I think you've got to kind of really start to think about that in your marketing strategy. And again, this is why we're seeing people come to the forefront because you can't get like brand accounts are dead basically, unless you've got a really, really good strategy in place. But putting people at the forefront of your socials and your strategy and everything is just going to be absolutely imperative.
Yeah. What's that TikTok? You know, when it's like, I am stressed. I'm going to lose my job. Anyway, that's how I'm feeling right now. On that note, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for tuning in. Might not see you until I get back from Euro, but potentially might squeeze in another one. But
We'll probably have to charge on without.
oh,
We'll get Cushy in the hot seat.
what
Yeah,
are you going to
Kush.
do without
Cushy's
me?
up.
Yeah, Cushy's going to have to take over. So until next time, thanks, guys. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.